This is the control panel that shows you the levels for the battery and whether you're plugged into the mains. It also shows the freshwater level and the wastewater level. The left-hand middle button is the override switch for all the lights and power in the van. That will switch off all the lights and the power, other than the light by the door and the 240 volt sockets. The right-hand middle button operates the water pump. It should only be used when you wish to use the taps and should be switched off at all other times to avoid burning out the water pump motor. This top left button displays the level of charge remaining in the leisure batteries. If you're not plugged into the main supply, the leisure batteries supply power to the vehicle for the lights, heating fan, water pump and the TV and satellite dish. The air conditioning and 240 volt sockets in the van will only operate when connected to mains power, which is shown by this central icon being lit. This top right button shows the freshwater level. The water tank in the motorhome has a capacity of approximately 100 litres. Whilst this gauge gives you an approximate idea of the remaining water, it is not to be trusted 100%, as it can give misleading or outright incorrect readings. The bottom right button shows the level of wastewater, currently showing that the tank is empty. We do recommend that when you fill up with fresh water, you empty the wastewater tank. That way you never need to worry about filling up the wastewater tank, as you will never have more than you have fresh. The bottom left button shows the amount of charge in the battery used to start the engine of the motorhome. You don't really need to worry about using this button. Get into the habit of turning the main power button off whenever you leave the van. This will turn off all the power, lights and water pump. If the battery level drops into the red area and you are not able to plug into the mains, start the engine and let it run for about 15 minutes. This will charge the leisure batteries back up. This is only likely to be a problem if you are on the same pitch for a few days. If you are driving around a lot, the leisure battery levels will keep being topped up by the engine battery. This Truma panel displays and controls the heating and hot water system. The icons at the top show a flame symbol, a water tank with a thermometer, a gas bottle and a fan. The flame refers to the boiler. If it is flashing, it means it is heating up. If it is static, it means it is operating but at the correct temperature. The water tank symbol with the word hot next to it means the water is up to temperature. The gas bottle symbol shows that the heating and water are being powered by gas rather than electric. You can see here the temperature is set to 11. To change this, turn the dial to the desired temperature and press the dial in to set it. You can see that the flame icon starts to flash. This indicates that the boiler is now in use and is heating up to the chosen temperature. The return button alternates between the different functions. For the hot water, you have 3 levels available. Hot, which is 55 degrees centigrade, Eco, which is 40 degrees, and Off, which is off. Unless you have vulnerable people in your group who may get scalded, just leave this set to hot. The fuel selector alternates between electric and gas. You would select gas if you had no access to an electric supply. Mix 1 is 5 amps of electricity with some gas. Mix 2 is 10 amps. Electric 1 is 5 amps of only electric. Electric 2 is 10 amps of only electric. Selecting this shows at the top that only an electric supply has been chosen. The plug icon on the right hand side shows that we have a mains supply hookup. The fan icon shows the selected fan speed. There are two options, Eco and High. Leave this set to Eco, unless it is very cold. The symbols at the bottom show a timer function and a spanner for the settings. The only reason to go into the settings is if you have pressed a few buttons and have accidentally set an unwanted timer, or have caused something that you wish to undo. In this case, navigate to Reset, press the button, and it will reset to default settings. Once reset, choose Heater rather than AC, set the temperature, choose Hot for the water temperature. It automatically defaults to gas. If you are on a site with a mains hookup, change this to electric. You may need to ask the campsite manager what the mains power supply is, but on most British sites a 10 amp supply is fine. Some continental sites only have a 5 amp supply.